Ooh, what's up, y'all? This is Aquarius Roberts back at it again with another episode of Divinity Unleashed. It's been quite a journey for us, and yes, I have taken some time out to really learn and understand more about what I'm teaching. And here we are. Interesting because right now we're going through a lot of retrograde planets. So this is very well a big time of reassessing the past, which bring us, which brings, sorry, excuse me, which brings us to our next major arcana card. Judgment. This is a very interesting card, I must say, because this card depicts the resurrection. It's funny that the theologian of tarot is actually pictured towards the religions. And so basically, judgment here is the moment in Revelations 20 where the angel Gabriel comes, the last angel, and he blows the last trumpet. And so as you see, the souls are waking up from the dead to be resurrected. Interesting, right? He holds the banner across the trumpet, and the trumpet and the banner is about victory. It's about owning one's spirit, and the cross on it in red is passion, it's the fire, it's the resurrection. And if you see on his wings are purple. They're purple and they're red. Okay, so this is the sign of intuition. Okay, so this is the angel of also intuition and enlightenment. Gabriel's a healer also. So with judgment being card number 20, we're coming to the end of the major arcana now. And yes, we will be moving forward into the other cards. The minor arcanas next. But for the judgment is about reviewing, reassessing, releasing, forgiving, letting go, giving another chance. With this card, many people come into your life and they play a role in it. And they're very important to your phase in life. But there comes a time in everybody's life where they have to learn to let go. They have to release things that are no longer of a value. So some people don't make it into the next phase of your life. And so because they don't make it, now you come to a point where pain is involved, because now you're looking at the situation as if that person played a very important part in my life, but that person is no longer important, is no longer available to my interests. We all grow, and we all grow for higher callings, higher consciousness, higher understanding, higher dreams, higher goals, a lot of higher everything. You know what I mean? And so some people can't go where you're going, and you have to let them go. And so judgment is all about that enlightenment of knowing it is time to step out of a phase and to jump into a new one, but leaving behind the things of the past. But in order for you to be able to do this, you have to reassess the situation. You have to reassess what you understand now. It's like getting that light bulb moment and being like, voila, I know my calling. I usually call Judgment the calling card. It's like you got a calling that you have to answer to. And you cannot avoid this calling. You will have to answer, or it will be a destructive transformation. You will have to change because life goes on. We cannot hold on. You know, I used to love gummy worms, like the sour gummy worms. You couldn't tell, you couldn't tell me nothing at all about some gummy worms, about some sour gummy worms every day, all day. But as I got older and I got more mature, or should I say, and I got more concerned about my health, those things were not of use anymore. And it was like, I look back and I was like, man, I used to eat sour gummy worms all the time. What changed? And it was that evolution of knowing that it's my health that's important. If you keep doing things like this or you keep eating foods like this, you'll never be fully healthy, you know, and you're gonna be tired and sleepy and not have a lot of activity, or not being active, you know, or not wanting to do more activities, you know, because you're like indulging in your lust and flavors and things like that. You know, excuse me, I know it's a tricky metaphor, but you know, it could be something that simple. And it's like, but the enlightenment was that I needed to change for my health, for the betterment of myself. And so that's what judgment is bringing. Judgment is bringing, it is a call to make a decision about a prior situation that you were going through. Were is the answer. And this card is ruled by Pluto. So Pluto is all about death, transformation, regeneration, looking deeper into things. This is a water sign. So this card is ruled by water, but it is also ruled by fire. And so the dominant trait of it is water, but the fire is the passion. And so when you bring fire and water again together, emotion with passion, you begin change. It's like your inner self is telling you it is time to raise your vibration. It is time to step into a new phase of your life and to learn new things and be a part of new people and areas and places and moving to new houses, whatever the case may be. But the past is no longer important, it's no longer of use, and you have to let it go. It is time to let go of what is no longer useful in your life because you have a higher calling. So when this card comes up, it is definitely a time of change. It is a time of leaving one phase and jumping into the next phase. It is reassessing and evaluating what has come. If you were in a relationship and the relationship is getting old now and it is time for you to move forward, you will get this enlightenment that I'm no longer of use here. And so it is time for me to move forward. This situation is ending and this situation will close. Situations, whether we like it or not, have their time because life is all about cycles. We're always going through different cycles. We're always trying to understand new things. And so with judgment, it's about the cycle has ended. What did you learn from it? What did you get from that? You know, if you were in a relationship that didn't work out, how do you feel like in your next relationship, could it have worked better or could it work better? How can things work better for your benefit in your new situation? What things did you do in your last situation that maybe hindered you? And what didn't work? What did work? How were you happy? What could you discard and what can you bring in? And so this is what judgment is all about. It's about coming up with a decision. This is also card number 20. So card number 20, judgment, is 2. 0 being the infinite, the whole, just like the fool in the first major arcana. The fool is ruled by 0, right? And so the fool is creation from out of nowhere, right? And so the fool here in judgment is reassessing all that he's been through. He's been through 20 other cards now, and now he's reviewing that whole life because it's time for, excuse me, it's time for him to come to a completion, which is our next card. And so we'll get to that next video. But right here, now he has learned a great deal about life because this card is ruled by Scorpio, and Scorpio is one of the elder signs. It is also the most emotionally deep sign. It's also about psychological tendencies, you know, your emotional triggers, things that make you react, things that make you move, things that make you more emotionally aware of life, you know. And I look at Scorpio as a very karmic sign. So with Judgment here, it's like karma has come, karma has went, and now you're looking at everything that's going on around you, and you're like, wow, things are ending, and it's time for me to judge a situation. Now, number 20 to 0, as I said, is the divine. So 2 is the first number. 2 is the number of choices. It's about choices being made or using creativity to make a choice. 2 is the number of duality. It rules the high priestess. Now that we're further into the major arcana, we can start to go back and reassess these numbers and how they're valuable with other cards. And so 2 is the Empress, 0 is the Fool. And so the Fool is creating something new, where the Empress is sitting on using her intuition to make better choices for the future. 2 is duality. The high priestess sits in between the two poles of duality, the black and white. This is not about the high priestess, but she is very well involved in Judgment. And so with Judgment and the high priestess and the Fool, it's taking a new opportunity and jumping into a new phase, but considering your intuition this time, considering your higher calling. Now, if you are doing a reading about business and Judgment comes up, that means your current employment is about to end and you're about to step into a new phase of work. So if you were doing, let's say you were doing writing for the first 20 years of your life, and you loved writing, but you had a higher calling. You're not supposed to be a writer, but a speaker amongst the people. Judgment will show up in a reading like that, telling you you have a higher calling. Writing is good for you, but it's just just a traditional hobby. Your higher calling would be to how you can use writing or your source of knowledge and verbal tact to help others. Right? That would be a higher calling, coming from working from a 9 to 5 to helping people around the world. You had a higher calling. For the 20 years that you've been writing, you have been missing. And so this is where Judgment would turn up reverse. Judgment would turn up reverse, but this is not about reversal cards. We'll do that later on. But Judgment in reverse is not heeding the call, not reviewing the past, not learning from your mistakes. Because Scorpio is all about that. It's about that karma from learning from the mistakes that you've made from the past. And so Judgment is very well teaching you to open up and review and take the healing that Gabriel has in store for you. The healing that Gabriel has in store for you will take you to a peaceful place. And so when Judgment shows up in your reading, make sure you answer the call, because the call is calling you. And you're going to have to answer. Or, like Spirit always does, makes you pay until you answer. So, for a personality, Judgment would be a person that thinks in the past, a person that's forgiving and understanding, and could be a preacher, a person that could be a preacher, a person that revives people. It could be a pastor. It could be somebody, a banner holder. It could be somebody that holds banners, like a person that does riots for change. You know what I mean? Black Lives Matter. You know what I mean? The Black Panther movement. Those would be like the people of judgment because they came to revolutionize society. They came to revolutionize life through 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 teaching, through learning from the past. So majorly, I want to speak about this card being about redemption. Okay, so redemption for me is like a person that has been through a lot of things, has messed up their life, and done a lot of things, and now they are at a point where they don't want to do the things that they've done anymore. Remember, the Fool has went through 20 different cards, and this is the Fool taking chances and learning through experience. So sometimes these experiences are very painful, and they don't help you out as much. You know what I mean? And so you learn from that. You learn from those choices that you've made that didn't really help you. And so now it's time to make better choices, do better things, and change your life for the better. What a wonderful thing, right? And so this card is also about forgiving others, giving redemption to others, being kind, being care, noticing that people make mistakes, that you've made mistakes also, and that you should be forgiven. I think this is a very important time right now for judgment, actually, because it's like people are looking back at the past and seeing things for what they really are. Neptune is in retrograde at this. I don't mean to put a time stamp on this, but Neptune is now retrograde right now. And it is a time of just seeing the reality of stuff, not being lost. You know what I mean? So very much this card was just perfect for now. This card was perfect for now and the future for you beginners and people that are learning. You know what I mean? This is a very good card. So once again, judgment will take you to a new place, to new heights, to new understandings. So when judgment comes up into your reading, think about where you need to forgive. Think about what you need to let go, and think about what time it is in your life. Because whatever was going on before is no longer important. Time to let go. And so this is a card of definitely release. Where in your life do you need to release and let go and understand? Sit on that. But until next time, this is Aquarius Roberts, Tarot God. Over and out.